Hi students, welcome to Sunil's tutorial. I'm Sunil Milwani and today we'll be doing this chapter called as Foreign Exchange Arithmetic. Please take down what is arbitrage. First let me give you the definition of arbitrage and then we'll do numericals based on arbitrage. Right, please write. Define arbitrage. Arbitrage A-R-B-I-T-R-A-G-E. A-R-B-I-T-R-A-G-E. Define arbitrage. Right, arbitrage can be defined as an operation. Arbitrage can be defined as an operation. Arbitrage can be defined as an operation which involves simultaneous purchase and sale, which involves simultaneous purchase and sale of equal quantity of currency with the intention of deriving risk-free profit out of market imperfection, out of market imperfect quotations in one or more market. Now let's see numericals based on this. Can you please pay attention here? Bank A code. USD INR is 40.2350, 40.2400. Bank B code. USD INR is 40.2425, 40.2475. These are the two codes given to you. You have to identify and calculate arbitrage. Identify and calculate arbitrage. Right? Now guys, first of all, in order to find out whether there is arbitrage, you have to make sure that the bid of one bank is greater than the ask of the other bank. Now let's look at, you have to check crosswise guys. You have to check that the bid of one bank should be greater than the ask of the other bank. Now look at this, you will check crosswise. This is 40.235, bid is 40.235, ask is 40.24. Bid is not greater than ask. Arbitrage will exist only if bid is greater than ask, right? That means between these two codes there is no arbitrage. Let's check the other two codes, right? Here bid is 40.2425 whereas ask is 40.24. Here bid is greater than ask. Arbitrage will exist only if bid is greater than ask, right? So the first thing that you need to do is you have to check whether the bid is greater than ask. I can say bid 40.2425 is greater than ask 40.2400. Hence, arbitrage exists. Right? So for arbitrage to exist, bid should be greater than ask. Right? Now, have they told you how much capital you are using? No. The sum has given you only the codes. When capital is not given to you, you have to always assume the capital to be 1 million of the base currency. Guys, the first currency is the base currency, the second is the variable currency. In our sum, the base currency is the US dollar. So I'll say assume capital to be equal to 1 million USD. right? In that case, arbitrage gain is given by the formula principal into identified bid upon identified ask minus principal. Right, so your principal is 1 million US dollar. 1 million means 10 lakhs. 1 million US dollar into identified bid. We said bid is 40.2425 divided by identified ask 40.2400 minus 10 lakhs. 1 million is 10 lakh. When you do this, you will get this answer as 62.13. Since your principal was in base currency, your arbitrage gain will also be in base currency. So your arbitrage gain will be 62.13 US dollar per $1 million. That's your arbitrage gain. Very simple, very easy. All you have to do is check that the bid of one quote should be greater than the ask of the other quote. Right? Let's see another sum, guys. Suppose you have sterling pound US dollar is 1.9378, 1.9388. This is your bank A code. Right? Sterling pounds US dollar is 1.9398, 9404 for bank B. Right? You have to identify and calculate the arbitrage. Identify and calculate arbitrage. Right? Remember, I told you that you have to check bid and ask. Let's try checking, guys. 1.9378 and 1.9400. Is 1.93 greater than 1.94? No. So that means between these two quotes I cannot have arbitrage. 1.9398 and 1.9388. 1.9398 is greater than 1.9388. Therefore, I can say that bid 1.9398 is greater than ask 1.9388. Therefore, arbitrage exists. Once you come to know that arbitrage exists, then you can say that arbitrage gain is nothing but principal into identified bid upon identified ask minus principal. They haven't specified the principal, have they? No. So you will have to take principal as 1 million of the base currency. So you will say assume principal to be 1 million. 1 million is 10 lakhs. Base currency, which is the base currency here? Sterling pounds. Sterling pounds is the base currency. The first currency is the base currency. The second currency is the variable currency. So 1 million into identified bid 1.9398 upon identified ask 1.9388 minus principal 1 million. Right? So in that case, when you solve this, you will come to the answer as 515.78 sterling pounds. So your arbitrage gain is going to be 515.78 sterling pounds per million. Very simple, very straightforward. Let's see another sum like this, guys. US dollar, right? US dollar and Swiss francs, I presume. US dollar, Swiss francs. The quote is given as 1.3725, 1.3735. Swiss franc US dollar bank B is given as 0.7215 and 0.7225. This is bank A, this is bank B. Now, if I consider bank A to be the direct quote, bank B is giving me an indirect quote. In order to calculate arbitrage, first thing I need to do is convert the indirect quote into direct quote. So I can say that for bank B, US dollar Swiss franc bid, to convert indirect quote to direct quote, you have to reciprocate, right? So US dollar Swiss franc bid will be 1 upon Swiss franc US dollar ask. When you reciprocate, bid becomes ask, ask becomes bid. So this is going to be 1 upon ask, 0.7225. So this is going to be 0.7225 is 1.3841. Similarly, US dollar Swiss francs ask is 1 upon Swiss francs US dollar bid. So 1 upon 0.7225, no, bid 7215, right, which will give you 1.3860. Therefore, now I know the direct quote of bank B. So I can say for bank B, US dollar Swiss franc quote is 1.3841, 1.3860. And for bank A, they've already given you the quote that US dollar Swiss francs is 1.3725 and 1.3735. Right? You have to compare the bid and the ask. Right? Let's see the bid of bank B. The bid of bank B is 1.3841, whereas the ask of bank A is 1.3735. Bid 1.3841 is greater than ask 1.3735. Since bid is greater than ask, therefore I can say that arbitrage exists. Once you know arbitrage, have they given you the capital? No, they haven't given you the capital, so you can say assume principal to be 1 million, whatever is the base currency. In our case here, the base currency is USD. The first currency is the base currency, the second currency is the variable currency. So in that case, I can say arbitrage gain is principal into identified bid upon identified ask minus principal. Principal is 1 million into identified bid 1.3841 upon identified ask 1.3735 minus 1 million. Right? So when you solve this, you will get this answer as, someone will have to calculate and get me this answer. $7705.15 US dollar, right? I'm not very sure about this. You'll have to calculate and check this calculation and see whether the calculation is right. 7705.15 US dollar should be your arbitrage gain. Someone check. I don't think it is going to be that high. Nobody's got a calc. check quickly.
7717 point.
Now just check this. Into 1.3841 divided by 1.3735. 7717.
Yes.
7717
.51 00
USD. Right? So that is going to be my arbitrage gain. Fine, do we get this thing here? Next, let's see this. They've given you, let's see another sum. US dollar, Indian rupee is 40.1625, 40.1665. US dollar, Indian rupee is 40.1695, 40.1735. This is bank A and this is bank B. One is the bank A code, one is the bank B code. You have to calculate arbitrage. Identify and calculate arbitrage. Right? For arbitrage, bid has to be greater than ask. Now, let's consider this 1.1625 and 1.1735. No, 1.1665 and 1.1695. Now 1.1695 is greater than 1.1665, right? So my bid 140.1695 is greater than ask 40.1665, right? Since bid is greater than ask, therefore I can say arbitrage exists. Right? Have they given you the capital in the sum? No, they haven't given you the capital. So I can say that assume P to be 1 million of the base currency. Base currency is USD. The first currency is your base currency, right? So in that case I can say arbitrage gain is principal into identified bid upon identified ask minus principal. 10 lakhs into identified bid 40.1695 upon 40.1665 minus 10 lakhs, right? So in that case, calculate this. Someone please calculate and get this answer, please. 1 2 3 4 5 4016950 0 divided by 40.1665 minus 10 lakhs.
$74.6891
USD. It's going to be 74.6891 USD. Right? Do we get this thing here? This is understood by us. Next, let's see another sum. Now, so far we were dealing only with 2 countries. Let's try to do arbitrage with 3 countries. Suppose if I have a code such as, when you're dealing with arbitrage of 3 countries, then that's called as a triangular arbitrage. So let's see a triangular arbitrage. USD Swiss franc is 1.3705, 1.3715. Sterling pounds USD is 1.9355 and 1.9365. Sterling pounds Swiss francs is 2.6500 and 2.6510. Right? Identify and calculate arbitrage. Now there are three countries involved here. One is US. There are three currencies involved here. One is the US dollar, other is the Swiss francs, and the third is sterling pounds. Right? Out of the three codes that you have, assume any one code to be constant. You have three codes given to you. Right? Assume any one code to be constant. Let us assume, you could take anything. Let us assume that I am taking the third code to be constant. Right? That means I'll say GBP Swiss francs is 2.6500, 2.6510. Right? Now I'm going to be calculating my arbitrage for this particular code. There are three codes given to you. You will have to calculate arbitrage for one particular code. So this is that particular code. You could have selected any one. Not necessary that you select the code that I am selecting. You could have selected any one code and you can calculate arbitrage for that. Now if I want to calculate arbitrage for sterling pound Swiss francs, I'll have to convert the other two codes in this particular format. Now this is my third code. Now I can say I want sterling pounds Swiss francs bid. That means I want sterling pounds in the numerator bid, and I want Swiss francs in the denominator bid. I have assumed the third code to be constant. Using the first two codes, I need to get this. Now, the vehicular currency, the only third currency is US dollar. So it should be sterling pounds US dollar bid into US dollar Swiss francs bid. Right? Now, sterling pounds US dollar is given to you, bid is given to you, and US dollar Swiss franc bid is also given to you. So sterling pounds US dollar bid is 1.9355. US dollar Swiss franc bid is 1.3705. Right? When you multiply the two, you should get this as 1.9355 into 1.3705, 2.6526. Right? Next, sterling pounds Swiss francs ask. Remember, here you have to use those two codes which you are not assuming to be constant. The third code you have assumed as constant, so you have to get these values from the first two codes. I want sterling pounds in the numerator, ask. I want Swiss francs in the denominator, ask. The vehicular currency is US dollar. The vehicular currency is US dollar. Now, sterling pounds USD ask. Sterling pounds USD ask is 1.9365. US dollar Swiss franc ask. US dollar Swiss franc ask is 1.3715. When you multiply this, you will get this as 2.6559. Right? So now, using the first two codes, I have the code for this. So I can say that, therefore, one of the codes I have is sterling pounds Swiss franc. Code is, using the first two currencies, is 2.6526, 2.6526, 2.6559. And the third code that you had kept constant was 2.6500 and 2.6510. Now you have to check bid to be greater than ask, right? 2.6500 and 2.6559, not possible. 2.6526 and 2.6510, yes. So I can say that bid 2.6526 is greater than ask 2.6510. Therefore, arbitrage exists. Once I come to know that arbitrage exists, then I can calculate the arbitrage using capital. Have they given me the capital? No. So I'll assume the capital to be 1 million of the base currency. Base currency here is sterling pounds. So 1 million sterling pounds. Right? So in which case I'll get my arbitrage gain is principal into identified bid upon identified ask minus principal. So principal is 1 million. Identified bid is 2.6526 upon identified ask is 2.6510 minus 1 million. Right? So in that case, my arbitrage gain is 604.58 sterling pounds. Right? That's how you calculate a triangular arbitrage. Right? Okay, we'll stop this here for the day. Thank you very much.